If I tell you it is currently 13 minutes after 7 in the morning, would you believe me? Anyways, hi, hello. My name is Singh. Welcome to my channel. Today is August 25th. It is currently 7:13 in the morning, and I have decided I look like I'm getting ready to leave my house, right? Wrong. My opponents, you have been deceived. A couple of weeks ago, not a couple of weeks ago, more like last week or like 2 weeks ago, I kind of decided that I would start getting dressed in the morning because I work from home every single day, the entire week. I decided I'll start getting dressed every morning. And even if I can't get dressed, I will at least like wash my face, brush my teeth, and just put on a change of clothes just so that I feel better about working. But so yeah, I woke up, I got ready. I was actually about to start doing my skincare. And I was like, you know what would also be good for me to do during this time? Make this video. Anyways, I wanted to talk about getting used to hard work, like getting acquainted with doing hard work. I think it is just starting to dawn on me, like now that I'm seemingly grown up, that if you want to do good work, you have to do hard work, right? And when I see that it is just dawning on me, the first reaction people get whenever I have this conversation is, oh, you must be a nepo baby. You must not have had to work for things when you were growing up. And it's not a lie. I mean, I lived in a middle class home, so like my parents, my mom could provide majority of the things I needed. And I was also kind of raised in a way where I didn't see the need for a bunch of other things. So because I didn't see the need for them, I didn't see why I had to work so hard to get them. And so I just had what I needed. And I'll say kind of like when I have this conversation with people, I always say it's not I know I'm not lazy. Okay. When work needs to be done, I know that I can get up, buckle up, whatever, and get the work done. I just have not understood over time the reason why I need to do hard work. And I feel like for like new generation parents, this is not parental advice, do whatever you want. Actually don't do whatever you want. Children are the future of this world. But like I feel like if you're a new generation parent, I obviously don't have again, I'm just speaking from my own prior experience. But I feel like if you're a new generation parent, you should kind of teach your child why they need to work hard for things. Like obviously provide for them, like definitely. But also teach them why they need to work hard for things to be done. I'm looking at my notes and I wrote, no, I'm not a Nepo baby. I grew up very middle class. The same middle class that doesn't exist anymore. So upper lower class. Whatever that means, there's nothing like middle class anymore because of the economic climate. Again, in most of my videos, you're going to hear me mention the economic climate a lot. And it's a valid reason for a bunch of things. I also wasn't a gifted child in school. Like I wasn't one of those children that was like all A's and whatever. I was a pretty average student in my opinion. Like I did just enough to scale through, right? Just enough to get by. I got some awards on like prize giving days or whatever, but I wasn't the student that was always called on every end of year, whatever. That's like this student is always getting gifts. No, I did good where I did good. And because I survived on doing just enough to get by, is also part of the reasons why I never got acquainted with okay, this is what it means to work hard for like something. This is what it means to work hard for the thing you want or whatever. This is what it means to work hard to be above mediocre, right? This is what it means to work hard to be above average. And I think now that I'm seeing basically how life is, now that I'm interacting with a more diverse society, now that I have friends in like different fields of work, now that I see what my friends are doing, now that in fact the best way to put this, now that I see what the people who have the things I want are doing, I'm getting more acquainted with the fact that to get these things, I have to do very hard work. Like seeing how they got there, they had to do a bunch of hard work. And if I want those things, I also have to do ridiculously hard work. I read, so one of the places I work, we do this thing every Friday called Learning and Development, where there's basically a piece that I shared at the beginning of the week and everybody reads it and then we come at like the end of the week and we talk about it and we share insights, basically learning and developing. And I think it was 2 weeks ago, two pieces were shared. I was actually supposed to write notes from those two pieces about what I liked and what what I wanted to talk about in this video, but I didn't. But basically, off the top of my head, two pieces were shared. One about how to do great work, and then the other about light work versus heavy work. And one of the things that both of them were very good pieces because I felt like for where I currently am, we read these pieces and both of them resonated very deeply. The one about how to do great work is really long, but I told myself that I was going to go back and read it again because it was just filled with so much. And the one thing that resonated about both these pieces for me was not like they were unique. They're not things that, oh, I've never heard anybody say this before. Because genuinely, as a last year, I used to be very into attending like conferences and summits and events like that. And like everybody, it's kind of the same thing everybody's saying, but they're changing the words, they're changing the theories, they're talking about, all those kind of things. Basis of everything and every advice I keep getting is to just stand up and do. Like to figure out what you want to do, you have to do a bunch of things. You have to experiment here and there to figure out that, oh, this is what works, and then you now are able to stick to it, or you're able to refine yourself, whatever. You're just able to do. You have to experiment. You have to do a lot of trial and error. You have to just do. That's it in a sense. And then the one about light work versus heavy work was kind of how light work doesn't resonate, but light work doesn't stick as it doesn't like when we were discussing it. That's the message for my sister. My sister, Angelica. Anyways, sorry. Well, when we were kind of discussing that piece, we we're talking about how, like, what do we think light work and heavy work is? Because when the writer writes about it, she kind of talks about how light work doesn't take that much. It doesn't take effort to do. It doesn't take effort to deliver. It doesn't take effort to stick. So it does. It basically doesn't stick in people's minds. It's just here and gone. And one of my coworkers kind of mentioned how she equates it, which is something that made a lot of sense to me about how when you see light work, you can see that it is clearly copied. Like it lacks innovation, it lacks originality, it lacks authenticity. But heavy work is something that takes a lot out of you, something that is demanding of you as an individual. Light work is easy to replicate, it's easy to copy, it's easy to form a template from light work. But for something that is heavy, it requires so much work from you internally and like what you deliver externally as well. And all of that just got me thinking about the work I do and how I feel about it. And either I feel like I have done anything that feels like heavy work, right? Something the writer also says is like you're always in one of two places. You're either pre heavy work or post heavy work. Like you're either doing light work till you get to, sorry, I picked up this thing and now I can't drop it. You're either doing light work until you're trying to get to like the point where you do heavy work and then you become post heavy work, right? Or you've done something that is very heavy and now everything you're doing seems light because of what you've already done. And I kind of think I'm in the first one because I don't think there's anything I have done that has required me to put in so much effort that I feel like this is so much of me that I feel like that thing is like has a part of my soul in it, right? I don't think I've done anything like that. And I feel so pre heavy work that even my light work feels lighter than what it should feel like. Obviously, there's a problem there because I find it difficult to see the value in some of the things that I do. So I'm trying to like attach more value to the work that I do. But also, those two pieces kind of interlink, right, at this point, because it's now made me start thinking about what exactly do I want to be doing to the point where I can invest. My sister is sending me so many messages this morning. Ma'am, it's 7 in the morning. Why are you up? You're on holiday. You are on holiday. Why are you up? Okay, both of those pieces kind of like interlink at the point where it got me thinking about what do I want to be so good at to the point where I feel the need to do something that feels like my soul is in it and it becomes heavy work that like is defining work, right? And as much as I love to be free spirited, I'm not. As much as I love to not like have it all figured out and just go according to the flow, I'm not. As much as all of those things exist, I also want to have a defining thing. Like it's not wrong to have a defining thing. I want to have a defining thing, and I feel like I don't have that right now, and I want to get it. This is a pursuit for something that defines me basically. Also, how like there are a bunch of things that I've never really had to like sit and learn. Just a bunch of things, right? I've never had to be like, oh, I need to take like a class for this to kind of figure out how to use these things. Some of those things just come easily to me. And I've kind of seen how that has flawed my approach to a bunch of things because there are a bunch of other things that I am not naturally good at, that I expect to just come naturally to me. Because hey, if this could come naturally to me, why can't you come naturally to me? And it has flawed my approach to starting things. It has flawed my approach to experimenting with myself, because I just expect everything to be perfect from the jump, which is rubbish. From those two pieces, from the advice that people give constantly but I have just not taken, all of it kind of sums up to the fact that hard work pays. It is a lot, it takes time, it requires a lot of you. But if you want to be successful, you kind of have to do hard work. And if you want your work to count for something, you have to do hard work. When I see people, I'm happy that I'm better at these days, because I mentioned in my first video how I've always wanted to do this for like a long time, but I could never just get to do it, because I'm very judging of myself, and I see a bunch of things that I do as cringe, and like, oh, people will be looking at me, I will be perceived, just those kind of things, and they stop me from doing the things that I actually want to do. But hard work pays. I don't know why you're watching this genuinely, that it really is up to you. Hard work pays. Doing hard things pay. Making good work, doing good work pays. Doing heavy work pays. It counts if you are in pursuit of success. It counts if you're in pursuit of something great. Timothy Chalamet, hey, it counts if you're in pursuit of something great. If you want to be, there's an article from somebody that I have not read. I kind of opened it, but I haven't read it. Something about what's wrong with being mediocre, or like something like that. There are people who are born to be average. That is not an outrageous statement. That is not a hot take. That is not an unpopular opinion. Some people are born to be average. They're born to be mediocre their entire life. But if you want to move out of that, and if you're in pursuit of something that is great, you have to be able to put in the work. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm very proud of myself over like the last 2 weeks, that I've been constantly, so I've been making myself get out of bed, make my bed. I didn't used to make my bed. It wasn't a big deal to me. And I work from my room, so I live on my bed the entire day. I wake up in the morning, make my bed, brush my teeth, wash my face, or have my bath, however I'm feeling that morning. Change my clothes, like tie my hair differently before I start working. Before, I used to just get out of bed, open my laptop, and start working. What am I saying? What am I even saying? Get out of bed. I'll put my laptop into my bed while I'm still in bed and start working. And I've realized how that should not be a thing that I do with myself. I'm just happy. I'm happy that I'm making progress, but at the same time, I need to get familiar with doing hard work. I need to get comfortable with doing difficult things. I need to allow myself do difficult things, because difficult things are not useless things, right? I need to learn that. I have learned that hard work pays. I just need to ingrain that into myself as a person, because my mind and my body, despite being together, are two separate entities. And while my mind understands it, my body also has to understand it. All right, this is 7:34. I'm happy I was able to get through this before work started. Now I have to do my to-do lists. I already have deliverables. I woke up I woke up by 5:30. My first alarm goes off by 5:30, and I saw things that I'm supposed to edit and send today. Hard work pays. I need to like buy like a board and write it there, so that every morning that I wake up I can look at it. Hard work pays. Anyways, this might be coming out faster than I planned, because let me not make any promises and let me not talk too much. But I'll see you in the next one. Bye.